Assalamu alaikum. Get to know your Lord. First part of the Right Belief series by Sheikh Karim Abu Zaid. This dynamic literary work of art's main goal is to revive an understanding the names and attributes of Allah. And understanding the name and attributes of Allah will elevate our faith, strengthen us, and keep us steadfast. This wonderful book is now available in an audiobook format and can be found free of charge on YouTube, channel Karim Abu Zaid. Get to know your Lord. You have nothing to lose. Know your Lord. We learn about His names and His attributes. Know your Lord. What He approves and disapproves. Know your Lord. Believe in all things that He has brought forth. Know His oneness, Lord. Know your Lord. Part of the Right Belief series by Sheikh Karim Abu Zaid. Right here on Sunnahfollowers, being taught by Ustada Layla Nashiba as she lays down the foundations to get you together. Learn about your Lord. Know your Lord. Streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnahfollowers.
In alhamdulillah, wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I want to welcome everybody to our series, Know Your Lord. Know Your Lord. And this is our Aqidah, or our class on the correct belief system of the Muslim, because everything begins with and ends with Allah. I don't care how many prayers you make. I don't care how many good deeds you do, how intelligent you think you are, how famous, how popular you may appear to be to the people. It doesn't matter how much the people love you in this world. Everything begins with and ends with Allah. If Allah doesn't love you, you have nothing coming but this world. What does that mean? Why is it that man wants to live forever? A couple of reasons why. But one of the reasons why is because deep down inside of us, each and every one of us as human beings, we can look at ourselves. We know deep down inside ourselves whether or not we're good or bad. Deep down, you know if you're doing wrong or if you're doing right. I mean, anyone with intellect, anyone with common sense can figure out, you know within your heart if you're doing something bad or something good. So most of us make bad choices in life. That's just the nature of the human being. We were created to commit sin. We accepted free will. That means we chose that upon ourselves. We could have been like the angels. We could have been like the animals. We could have been like the sun, the moon, the stars. Just robots to Allah. But no, we chose free will. And Allah created us to do that too. He knew we would choose it. That's why we were created, to make choices, many of them which are bad. We were born to make mistakes, but we were also created to recognize those mistakes and turn back to Allah. Like Allah tells us in the Quran, if we didn't make mistakes, if we didn't make bad choices. He would simply replace us with another creation that would. So it is written. So it has been done. So none of us are perfect. For those of us who make bad choices in this world and we don't repent from them, this world becomes our paradise. We want to live forever. We don't want to die. We don't want to pay the consequences. We don't want to account for the choices we made that we know deep down inside we shouldn't have made for ourselves. So we want to keep on living forever. You know, that's why people take all these vitamins, black seed, honey, and all this other stuff that you can buy nowadays at the store, thinking it's going to prolong your life. The only one that can prolong our lives is Allah. And he already has decreed when each and every one of us are going to die. And there's nothing we can do to change that. There's nothing we can do to alter that. It's already written. The ink has dried. The book is sealed on each and every one of us. So we're living our lives in this world, doing what Allah created us to do, making choices for ourselves. Sometimes the choices we make are good, but oftentimes they're bad. We have to understand that. That's one of the first knowledges. That's one of the first things we need to understand as Muslims about Allah and ourselves. You know, we were born to make mistakes. We were created to make bad choices. The question is, what are we going to do with those mistakes? What are we going to do with those bad choices? Are we going to turn them into good choices? Are we going to turn those mistakes into actions of forgiveness? That's the whole purpose of this class. If you knew your Lord, if each and every one of us truly understood and knew our Lord, we know the answer to those questions. And this is the book that we're studying. For those of you who have not yet purchased this book, because I have a lot of people, more and more people are joining me each day. And I want to thank the imams, because the imams, some of the imams are referring their new shahadas to me. And for the new shahadas, let me explain something to you guys. A couple of the new shahadas have texted me, the brothers in particular, and the sisters too, because I want you new shahadas, since you women are new to Islam. Even though the reward of us as women lies in our home, you don't have to go to the mosque. You get more blessings listening to me than going to any masajid. But I want you sisters to understand the simple fact that you sisters are new to Islam. You're going to need that Muslim camaraderie. You're going to need that Islamic camaraderie. You're going to need a sisterhood, not a brotherhood. You're going to need a sisterhood to help keep you firm. Because as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the greatest weapon that we Muslims have against shaitan is each other. So even for the new sisters, the new shahadas who are female, you need to find a masjid that's close to you. Wherever you live at, whatever city you're in, you need to Google it. If you have a problem, if there's a question you want to know, like the brother Tajri did. Brother Tajri found a masjid close to him where he lives. But he had a problem because this masjid does the Juma prayer before Dhuhr. So he asked me about it. I Googled it. That ain't a mosque to go to. Find another mosque. So if you new shahadas are having a hard time, especially you sisters, because as women, we have to be extra careful. Because I just hate to say it. You know, we have become like the Christians and Jews, the masjids. Many of them are into that theology crap, like the one that Tajri was hooked up with. Or you got these masajids that call themselves upon the Sunnah, but they really are, it's all about sex, 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 sex. Oh yeah, what do I mean by sex? It's a lot of filth going on in the mosques, guys. Some of them. And that's a big problem. The new Shahada, the new women convert to Islam, and they're telling me they go to a mosque, and this is particularly popular in the African American community. Let me just keep it real. The African American community, the women will go to a hood mosque. That's why I call them hood mosque. And the imam trying to get with them. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the sisters are calling me about that too. Stay there asking information about, is there a sisterhood here that they can attach to, that can show them how to pray? The imam too busy asking them age, sex, location. Don't you know marriage is half your deen? Get married to me, and all of a sudden the knowledge of Islam gonna fall on you. Oh, that's the hood masjids. Those are the hood imams, and there's a bunch of them out there, guys. Hood mosque, hood imam. So you sisters have to be very careful. If you sisters need help, if you don't understand, if you want to know if this mosque in your city, or if there's more than one, because there's usually more than one. Some cities got 100 mosques, depending on what part of America you in. Texas got bunches of them. Okay, bunches of them in New York too. You know, you can send me an email or do like Brother Tajri did. Ask me about a community and I can look it up. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty much aware of these masjids here. You know, and I can tell you if it's a good one, 9 times out of 10. We do got some good imams. I'm not going to say that all the imams are bad, because that's not true. There are some good ones. But we have the hood ones too. And they're predators. They sit there, age, sex, location, marry me. And the slavery. Oh, yeah. But we found out what sect that is. That's a sect that does that slavery. Yeah, that's a problem in America too. Some of these hood masjids tell you that you can be there 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wives. You know, they say they got slaveries. You can be my right hand possession. Oh, it's just filthy. And we want to know why Allah sent this war. America, like I tell you, brothers, y'all need to stay out of the politics of what's going on overseas and keep your nose right here in America, because our masjids here are messed up. We got such a high apostasy rate amongst our children. We also have a very, very high apostasy rate around Muslim women. Women convert to Islam and apostate within a year or two because of the filth that some of these masjids have. Then you got the kind with the executive boards. Yeah, some of these executive boards ruling everything and got the women on their boards too. And it's just your home is better for you. That's why I think a lot of them are women. But for my new Shahada females, you do need to find a real live Muslim sisterhood to sit with, so they can teach you what I can't, which is how to physically do things. I can sit on the internet and tell you how to pray, show you PowerPoints and all of that. But you're going to need a sister, the support of a real live Muslim woman that can hug you when you need a hug. Because sometimes you're going to need a hug. Life gets hard. I need a hug. And I don't have nobody to hug me. Okay, but I'm Muslim and I'm strong. Okay, but you new sisters, remember we talked about how faith grows. How faith grows. Your faith has not yet been all the way embedded in your heart. So you might just need a hug. You might need another sister to just say, and not no brother talking about 50% of your deen. No. That ain't what that hadith mean. Allah ain't gonna give you 50% of knowledge because you having sexual relations. That's bullcrap. Don't fall for that yoky doke. Oh yeah, it happens. You might need a sister to hold your hand and say it's okay. You can get through this. I know it's hard. I know it's hard, dealing with your parents. and trying to convince your friends. You might need that hug. I can't give you that hug. I can do this stuff. Wait a minute. Make the hug sign, somebody. I can make a hug sign on the internet, but I can't physically do it. So I want my new shahadas to attach to a masjid. So hit me up. Give me if whatever. In fact, I'm asking all the new shahadas, send me the name of the mosque in your city. Because 9 times out of 10, I can read. I'm a legal investigator too. Oh yeah, that's my specialty. I'll check it out. Yeah. So I can help you out. Yes. Wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah, Sister Amira. Yes. I hooked you up with her. Yeah, Amira, I hooked her up with her masjid. The Imam, you like him? You met his wife. Mashallah, I told you that's a good community. See, that's a good masjid there. I told you. See, I knew that, Imam. I know a lot of them, y'all. I know of a lot of them. I don't know them personally, but I know of a lot of them. Oh, really? Yeah, she said that she told him that Sister Layla told me that this is a good mosque. And she said that he immediately had his wife. And yes, she's sweet, isn't she? Yeah, and his wife is teaching her the Fatiha. Yes, mashallah. Yes. And what? She didn't? Wait, let me read this, y'all. That's okay. That's okay. She said that his wife told her to read off a paper. But she told his wife that I taught her the hadith of the prophet, that we don't read off a paper. We just do the subhanallah. And her wife said, Layla knows best. Okay, yeah, she's sweet anyway. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. You connected with her and she's teaching you how to pray. Okay, good. They have a new Shahada class too. She said that, yeah, I told you that was a good mosque. Mashallah. Yeah, give my salams to her too. She's a good sister. I don't know her personally, but she used to come to some of my classes. Yeah, she's sweet. But then again, walk like an Egyptian. They're Egyptians. Yeah, the Egyptians are pretty cool. Down to earth. No racism, is it? There's no racism. Egyptians are not racist like that. The majority of them are not. You'll find some who've been influenced by the West, but most of the Egyptians are like Kareem. You look at Kareem's mosque, he always hugging the African-American kids. His right-hand man is from Africa. Walk like an Egyptian. Yeah, we're down to earth. Yeah, I knew you'd like her. Yeah, give her my salams too. Yeah. Oh, really? She says she got some hijabs for me? Wait a minute, hold on, y'all. This girl talk for a second. Yeah, tell her to send them. Okay, she said that she's got some hijabs for me from Egypt. Mashallah, send them on. Hello, I can use some more. Tell her to give me some of that Egyptian coal too. Yeah, ask her, can she get me some more of that Egyptian coal? Because my sister is tied up with a wedding that's going on. So she hasn't sent me any. And I need some more. As y'all can tell, I need some more Egyptian coal. Okay. All right. Yeah. So just let me know, guys, for the rest of you new shahadas, I want you sisters, even though you don't have to go to a mosque, you get more blessings at home. I want y'all to make that connection. Ask the Imam, can you meet his wife? There you go. Exactly. That's how you stop all that crap. Ask him, can he connect you to one of his wives? If it's an African-American community, ask him, can he connect you to one of his wives so that she can teach you? If it's an Arabic, Imam, ask him to hook you up with his wife. Yeah. That's just how it is. Okay, good. Sister Stacy, you got one in Lynchburg? You haven't went yet? Hold on, let me check out Stacy for a second, okay? Yeah, Sister Stacy, remind me after class to check that mosque out. All right? I'll check it out and see if I know the imam or if I know of that mosque, and I'll let you know if it's decent. Yeah, because we all of the Muslim, all of us need that, even me. Although, you know, we all need that support, that live support. I'll give you the knowledge online, but you're going to need that live physical support too. All right. Okay, so now let's get started with the class. Yesterday, we talked about how everything begins with getting to know Allah. And by the way, let me put this, Sister Stacy, I'm not going to forget. I'm going to look that up. Lynchburg. I'll look it up. Okay. We talked about how the priority for all of us as Muslims is to establish a good, solid, sound relationship with Allah. And yesterday we spoke about several things we can do to get to know Allah. Let's put the PowerPoint up. I'm going to give, this is my little quiz for y'all. And it's only one question today for the quiz. I made it simple. Hold on. Is this the right one, y'all? Wait a minute. Y'all know how Layla gets confused because I'm so messed up here. All right. Did I make it big? Okay, it's going to get big. There it is. Tonight, we're going to be covering pages 16 through 21 in the book. And we're going to speak about other ways in which people seek knowledge of Allah. Yesterday, we spoke about several ways that people seek knowledge of Allah, and that's the quiz. What are 3 things that Allah has given us to aid us or help us in seeking his knowledge out or knowledge of him out? What are 3 things that we talked about yesterday that Allah has given us as human beings? It doesn't matter what religion you are. Remember, we were all created with a purpose. That purpose is to worship Allah. That's our purpose. And to aid us in getting to know about Allah so we can worship him the way he intended for us to do. What are 3 things we discussed that he's given us that can help us to seek out that knowledge, even if you were not raised upon Islam? What are the 3 things? Come on, Zoom people, wake up.
One of them is having spiritual intuition, when you can feel in your heart. When your heart recognizes the truth, you can feel in your heart the truth.
Okay, what do y'all think about that answer? She said Allah has given us spiritual intuition.
That's true. I agree.
Good job. Thank you. I see the teachers here. Latifah's a teacher. No fair. She's going to know all the answers. Okay. What do we mean by intuition? That's what. Okay. Here, the brother from Russia. Assalamu alaikum. Armandu? I can't pronounce your name. You said you from Russia? Okay. He wants to know, what does the word intuition mean? Somebody explain what intuition means to him. Did he ask this question yesterday and didn't write it down? I think you asked this yesterday, bro, and you didn't write it down. And somebody tell him, what is intuition? Yeah, it's okay. He said it's English not too good, but it's good, but not too good. He can't get too bigger words. Okay, I understand, bro. May Allah make. He said, but easier to learn here because no Arabic at all. Yeah, you got a lot of Arabic people, he said, that speaks Arabic, I guess. And this is easier. It's easier for him to learn in the English than the Arabic because he don't know no Arabic. Okay, somebody tell him what intuition means.
It says the ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning.
Okay, let me write that down for the bro too. The ability to understand due to your inner, this is me putting mine in, instinct. This is intuition. You see that, bro? Let me put it here. The ability to understand due to your inner instinct. That's intuition. And by the way, guys, intuition is in your heart. When you hear people say, follow your heart, listen to your heart. It's in my heart. That's the natural intuition that we have as humans. There's a natural intuition that Allah has put in our hearts that wants to get to know Him. There's a natural instinct in our hearts that wants to seek Him out, that wants to get close to Him, that wants to believe in Him. That's instinct. That's the spiritual instinct. Comprenez? I mean, I know you don't speak French. Oh, you do? Comprenez? Okay. Everybody else understands too? He said he got it. So all of us have this embedded instinct. We all have this embedded instinct within us that drives us to go and seek Allah out, to get to know Him. Okay, does everybody understand that? So that's the one thing that Allah has given us that will help us to seek Him out, our natural spiritual instinct. And what's the other one? Let me see. I got a lot of answers here. Sister Santisa, she said also Allah has given us intellect, intelligence. What role does intelligence play, guys, in getting to know Allah? Who can answer that? What role does intelligence play in getting to know Allah? Anyone? And I don't want Yasmin to answer. I want the rest of you in that Zoom room to get on the mic because Yasmin is a soldier. So I hope she's model role. Y'all got her duped up because I didn't put that close the room. She's on standby. She's packed. She's strapped at the door.
Okay, I'll give it a try. With your intellect, that's what the knowledge that you have acquired about Allah and how you can evaluate it and understand different things that Allah has put for us to learn and understand.
Good job. See, she's a teacher. And intelligence allows you to evaluate. I love how she said that. And weigh the information. I'm writing this for brother. I'm writing it for you, dude. And weigh the information you receive. Okay, let me type that. And I'm putting it here for the brother. Here it is again. I don't know which platform he's on. But there it is. I think he's Twitch. There you go. Twitch. Another mechanism that Allah has given us that will aid us and help us to seek Him out, seek knowledge of Him out is intelligence. That intelligence allows us to evaluate and weigh whatever information we receive about Him. I can evaluate that information and see if it's logical or not, if it computes, if it makes sense. Okay? Good job. Santisa said it gives you the ability to understand or know something immediately. That's the intellect. Good job, Santisa. So those are two things Allah has given us that will help us to seek Him out. Intuition, intellect, and what's the third one? Fatima got the answer there. What is this? Now, hold on, Fatima, I'm trying to get it. She said visual. Visual observation with our eyes. Good job, Fatima. By the way, is that my Fatima? Is that one of the old ladies here? But she's younger than us. She ain't no old lady, really. Aren't you our Fatima, Fatima? Okay, I think this is my Fatima. She's one of my students.
That's her.
Yeah, that's her. Okay, good. That's our Fatima. Good job, Fatima. You own it, girl. Because you know the old ladies in here napping. As Fatima said, visual observation. That's another thing that Allah has given us to help seek him out. We're able to use our eyes to see things. You can see the sunrise, and you know man ain't in control of that. It's going to cause you to question what's making that sunrise, what's making that sunset. You're able to look at the mountains. Look at this majestic creation. That's why I love mountains. I gotta go. I think I'm going, Fresno. I think I'm going to Colorado. I think I'm gonna go out there to where Sheikh Kareem is. Oh yeah, pay his mosque a visit. Yeah, I heard they got the most beautiful mountains. When you look at those mountains, you know, and see how they stand and they serve the purpose of holding the earth down. That makes you say, wow, something is greater than all of this that can create such things and give them such a purpose that's going to drive you to want to seek Allah, knowledge of Allah out. So, mashallah, those are the three things that we talked about. Those are the three things that we talked about that will aid us, that Allah has given us to aid us in seeking him out. And by the way, the fitra, what is the fitra connected to? That's the Arabic word that connects to what, guys? What is it in English? Is it one of the things that we just mentioned in English? If so, which English word is the fitra? We talked about intuition. We talked about intellect, and we talked about visual. Which one is
Intuition.
the English form of the Arabic word fitra? Good job. Intuition. That's all fitra means in English. That's why I tell y'all, don't play the Arabic game. Learn the meaning of those words. The fitra means, translates in English to mean your natural intuition. Your natural intuition. Okay? Everybody understand? So that's what we talked about yesterday. Those things there, those three things there are three of the things that Allah has given us, which shows Allah's mercy. How can a person not believe in Allah? As I am teaching you guys these classes, especially this class, which is my favorite. This is the basics of Islam, Aqidah, the correct belief system. It helps to keep my faith strong too, because just like you guys, I am tested too. The more knowledge that we receive about Allah, the stronger and the greater our tests and trials are. Some of us, like Jamali, look at all that knowledge Jamali has. Look how Shaitan went to town on him and attacked him through his health. Okay? Just like Shaitan did Job. Okay? Some of us, Shaitan attacks us because he can't get to us. He comes through our children. That's why you say, why is it that most daya, most duat, we have problems with our children? Our children are not practicing Islam correctly. Are we any different than Noah, alayhi salam? Are we any different than Lot, alayhi salam? The stronger your faith, the greater your test. So Shaitan will come to others through our children and our grandchildren. Some of us who are strong in our faith and practice, strong in our knowledge, a shaitan attacks you through your wives. A lot of people say, why is it that some of these scholars, they go through women like an arrow? They can't stay married. They can't stay married. Or they're married for the sake of the children, but they're unhappy. They're miserable old men. Some of us, are we any different than Lot, alayhi salam, and his wife? Okay, the greater your faith, and I want all the new shahadas to understand that just because you are a Muslim now does not mean that your life is going to turn into a bowl of cherries. No, it's the total opposite. Welcome to the real world. Welcome to the trials of life. Your tests are just beginning. Allah says in the Quran, do you think just because you say you believe in me, that that's enough? He says, I'm going to test you with everything that's dear to you. Your money, your wives, your children, your property, your health. Whatever you love, shahadas, get ready. Allah's going to test you with it. You like your job? Now your test has begun. You love your children. What woman does it? Now here's your test. You have a good relationship with your parents, your family. Well, now here's your test. Can you maintain that? And will you be able, will your relationship being on the brinks, is that going to cause you to come away from Allah? So the test, they never get easier. The tests do not get easier. They get harder. The older you get, the harder your tests. I remember when I had to move from my home and go to the Appalachians because my job had closed and sent me there. I thought that was the worst experience of my life. And it was at that time, 36 years ago. Then, when I had to have my first total knee replacement, I almost freaked out. I almost had a nervous breakdown. I thought that was the worst test. And it was at that time. But after that, Allah tested me with me something worse than that. That was having to move from Appalachia back to Cleveland. That was the worst test. And I remember, y'all remember 3 years ago when I moved here, I said, this is the worst thing I've had to do. It was at that time. Now my greatest test is trying to survive off of one income because I retired from my job. Okay, so the test will get more and more greater. But the good thing is, just like I can look back to 36 years ago and say, wow, I freaked out because I had to move to Appalachia. That was a piece of cake. Y'all see how I can look back at it now and laugh. Now I can look back at my first knee replacement and say, girl, I got through that with no problem. Here I am kicking, walking, back doing aerobics, and whoa. That's the beauty of life when you can see, wow, I overcame it. So for the new shahadas, I want you sisters to realize your tests are going to get harder. But Allah will never put a test on you that you can't handle. Whatever Allah is sending you through or will send you through, you can do it. You can handle it. You can get through it. You just have to believe in Him first and foremost, and then believe in yourself. Don't ever think that the test is too much. I can laugh at the trials I had in the past. Just like, inshallah, a couple of years from now, I'll be able to look back on after being retired and getting used to being retired. I'll be able to say, wow, I ain't got a problem handling my money now. I got it all situated. So don't ever lose hope. That's the key to being a Muslim. That's the key to being a believer. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, what's the difference between a believer and a mere Muslim? Many differences. But one thing about a believer, the believer has love, hope, and fear of Allah. All three. If you don't have all three, you ain't even a Muslim. You're a non-believer. So you can't never lose hope, sisters. Allah's going to test you with your families, your children, and all of that, your relationships, your money, your job, your lifestyle. That's what this world is meant to be. This world is a testing ground for us. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, how this world is a testing ground. But know this, whatever you're subjected to, you can handle it. Because Allah is so just. He's so fair. He's so good. He will never put anything on us that we can't handle. Y'all understand that? So now, on to our topic for today. And again, these are pages 16. Get your books out. Turn to page 16. Another way that many people seek knowledge of Allah is through unquestionable acceptance. Thank you. And what is, you know what, people tell me to drink some coffee. Y'all are really into my lecture, ain't you? I just realized the sister said, take you a sip of coffee, Layla. Thank you, I just did. And I did it like a... Y'all are really into me, aren't y'all? Thank you. By the way, let me take another one. Whoa, I needed that. She said I got her crying. Mina, she typed on the screen, I have her crying. That's why she told me to take a sip, because it was just wonderful. Oh, mashallah. May Allah bless you, Sister Amatullah. You're crying? Oh, you're going to make me cry. Yeah, these are words of advice for me too, because like I say, I'm dealing with issues too. Yeah. Oh, may Allah bless you. I mean, okay. Now, she's going to make me cry now. She said I made her cry. Oh. She said it's a good cry. MashaAllah. Oh, okay. The truth, that's, again, we talked about that. That's one of the questions that one of the new sisters asked me, or was it Edward? One of the brothers, one of y'all asked me, how do you know if the knowledge that you are gaining is of benefit? If it makes you cry, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the difference between beneficial knowledge and knowledge that is not of benefit is, if it's beneficial, it's going to make you cry. Does it make you cry? Does it make you look at your life and want to change the condition of yourself? That's how you know if what you're listening to is of benefit. So, mashallah, that's food for the soul, sister. Brother Tajri, you at work still? Oh, yeah, I forgot I had my coffee here. As y'all can see, I just woke up. I didn't go to sleep until 12 o'clock this afternoon. I was up all night. I don't even want to talk about it. But anyway, to the topic. Okay, so we talked about how the three ways that Allah has given us to seek out knowledge of Him is through the natural intuition, intellect, and visual. Well, another way in which people seek knowledge of Allah is through unquestionable acceptance. Taqleed. Y'all hear a lot of these brothers on the internet, the ones that do all that bashing, bashing each other, kafir calling. You hear this word taqlid, 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 taqlid. What does it mean? It's an Arabic word that means blind following. That means to blindly follow and to accept knowledge or ideas because an authoritative figure gives them to you. And let me make this bigger so y'all can see the PowerPoint better than me. There you go. So blind following is to accept knowledge because a person of authority stated or told you that it's true. So you don't question it. You just accept it. Because Sheikh so-and-so said it, it's got to be true. Because Imam so-and-so said it, it must be true. However, since this knowledge, is received this way, a great example of it is when we come into this world. This is why you're not a revert, you're a convert. Those of you who convert to Islam, you're not a revert, you're a convert. You come into this world and your mother, your father, they're the ones that mold and shape your knowledge of the world. They're the ones that mold and shape your perception of Allah. So you believe what your parents taught you to believe. And since this type of knowledge comes from them, it can serve as a hurdle for you, a hurdle that stands in the way of the true knowledge of Allah. So we end up just being upon the way of our parents. That's blind following. Well, believe it or not, we got Muslims that do the same. The four madhabs. They'll follow the madhabs blindly. It's all about what the four imams said. Anything that contradicts the four imams, they don't want to deal with it. Or a new innovation, they blindly follow Ibn Taymiyyah. They blindly follow Ibn Qayyim. They blindly follow Ibn Qathir. If Ibn Taymiyyah didn't say it, they don't accept it. I love Ibn Taymiyyah. May Allah be pleased with him. I'm one of his students. Oh yeah, my teachers come from knowledge, from learning from him. But I don't agree with Ibn Taymiyyah's treatise on the jinn. I worked with the jinn for 36 years. I worked with the developmentally disabled for 36 years. Just because a person is developmentally disabled does not mean that that person is possessed by a jinn. I disagree with Ibn Taymiyyah on that. I worked with them for 36 years. He didn't. So we don't blindly follow anyone, guys. When it comes to seeking knowledge of Allah, it has to be based on evidence. Evidence from the Quran, evidence from what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. Okay? Just like me, I'm a teacher. If I tell you something, I have to back it up. I have to support it with clear evidence from the Quran, clear evidence from the authentic hadith. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm talking about, and you don't want to sit there and blindly follow me. That's why I use PowerPoint, so y'all can see I ain't making it up. Okay? So, unfortunately, a lot of Muslims today, they blindly follow. They blindly follow their sheikh. They blindly follow their imams. And this is bad. But on the other hand, it's a good thing for those Muslims that have no access to knowledge. What do I mean? Let's just say you were living on an island somewhere. You didn't have the internet. You didn't have any technology. But there was an imam with you who was knowledgeable of the deen. So in that case, you listen to him and you take from him because you have no other source. Remember, Allah even tells us in the Quran, ask of those who have knowledge if you don't know. Ask the people of knowledge if you don't know. Also, Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning, there should separate from every division of them a group to obtain understanding in a religion and warn their people when they return to them so that they could be cautious. So, we do blindly follow if that's all we have. Okay? And the person that's giving it to you is a person that's respected and trustworthy. Okay? How else are you going to learn unless you ask the people of knowledge? But again, a true person of knowledge supports everything with Quran and Hadith. Y'all understand that? How can you tell if this brother is a person of knowledge? Is he quoting Ibn Taymiyyah? Or is he quoting Ibn Abbas? Nowadays, everybody that call themselves Salafi, a lot of these brothers, not everyone, a lot of these brothers that call themselves Salafi, all they quoting is Ibn Taymiyyah. Is that a person of knowledge? No. If you were a true person of knowledge for me to take from, you would be quoting what Allah said, what the Prophet said, and you give me the understanding from them companions, not Ibn Taymiyyah. That's the problem. Okay? So that's another means of seeking and obtaining knowledge of Allah through blind following. And a lot of Muslims today use that technique. They just take whatever they hear from their imam and that's it. They don't weigh it. They don't weigh it against the Quran. They don't weigh it against the Hadith. They just accept it. And then another method that people use to seek knowledge of Allah is the scientific method. The scientific method is a process of collecting and evaluating evidence to test ideas and to answer questions. Scientists, they use intuition. They also use rationalism and they use visual observation, but they don't just stop there. Some of them, like the brothers we have here in America, the Harvard graduates, the Yale graduates, the PhD scientists, they take it to another level. They use psychology. They use philosophy. And that's where we run into the problems. All the ideologies. So that's the problem with the scientific method. If you base it on intuition, rationalism, visual observation, and of course the sources of being the Quran and the Hadith as your items to weigh it up against, then you're good. But when you start getting off into philosophy and trying to philosophize this religion, we got a problem. Everybody understand that? Even with observation has its limits too. So we have to be careful. We can't rely on any means of getting to know Allah unless that means is substantiated with Allah's revelations, substantiated with Allah's revelations or what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. So I hope that's clear to everybody. Dr. Asim, Sheikh Morsi, Abu Atayib, Dr. Jamali, they use the scientific method, but they weigh everything against the Quran. They weigh everything against the authentic hadith. They avoid all those ologies that can take you away from Allah. Okay? Now, both the Quran and the hadith, both of them are explicit about another question that many Muslims ask today too, especially my new converts. A lot of my new converts ask Sister Layla, will we ever be able to see Allah? Will we ever be able to hear Allah? And we talked about this the other day. I think it was Sister Amira. Sister Amira asked me about a dream, remember? She said that she had a dream that somebody came and was giving her really good advice. She felt inspired that maybe it was Allah. Allah had taken on the form of a handsome man and was telling her how proud he was of her with her new decision of converting to Islam. That was Sister Amira. And remember, she asked, Layla, is it possible that Allah can come to us? We can see him and hear him. He can talk to us and all of that. Well, our Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, told us in an authentic hadith, when the people of paradise enter it, Allah will say, do you want anything more? And they will say, have you not brightened our faces and admitted us to these gardens and saved us from the hellfire? What else is there for us? And then Allah will remove the veil that covers his face. And that will be the most beautiful gift of all. But look where this happens. Paradise. Also, there's another hadith, whereas one of the companions said, we were sitting with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he looked up at the moon and he said, you will see your Lord just as you can clearly as you can see this moon. But when? He said, in paradise. In paradise. In paradise. So, in a nutshell, we cannot see Allah in this world. Based on this evidence and many others. There's another hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, here's the dalil. Here's the dalil, Amira. Because I gave her the answer. I told her that Allah is not going to do that. Allah is not going to come to you and give you revelations. And Allah does not appear to us like that in this world. But she was one of the new Shahada that was at the wrong kind of mosque. We talked about it. She was at a mosque where the Imam told her something different. That not only will she see Allah in this world, Allah is probably sitting right there next to her because he's everywhere. I told her, leave that mosque immediately. And I sent her to a better one. Well, here's the dalil. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, be informed that none of you can see Allah until you die. Hello, there's the dalil. Also, Abu Hurairah tells us in another hadith that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked, will we see our Lord on the day of judgment? He said, do you have any doubt about seeing the sun on a cloudless night or a cloudless day? So none of us will see Allah in this world, only in the hereafter. And that will only be the gift for the believers. The unbelievers will never see the face of Allah, even on the day of judgment. So that brings us to a question that many of us ask. So what is my purpose here? If I can't see Allah, I can't touch him. I can't talk to him. He's not talking to me. He's not coming to me in my dreams, talking to me. So what is my purpose? What's the purpose in even trying to believe in him? What's the purpose here? Why would he do this to us? Well, understand there's wisdom. Allah has wisdom that surpasses any of ours. Seeing Allah is a great blessing, guys. It is the greatest blessing that any of us will ever experience. So Allah saves that. His wisdom is to save it as a reward for you when you enter into paradise. Remember, guys, this world is a mixture of good people and bad people. So the blessing of seeing Allah is deferred until the day that we stand before him to be judged, guys. Reserving this blessing will cause us to be motivated. The fact that I can't see him, I can't touch him, I can't feel him, but I know that he is who he said he is. All that's going to do is reinforce my fear of him, reinforce my love for him, and it's going to propel me to do everything in my power to be with him and his presence on the day of judgment. Remember, guys, this world, I tell you guys all the time, this world, this earth, this is a testing ground for us. We were created to worship Allah. Allah put us here on earth to test us in our belief in him. And he kept himself hidden from us to make the test even more so. Subhanallah. There's a lot of things we can't see. We can't see gravity, but we know it exists. We cannot see electricity, but we know it exists. Okay? So belief in Allah. Allah kept himself hidden from us in this world for a reason, to propel the true believers forward and to give the unbelievers something to think about. Subhanallah. And remember, guys, every day of our lives, we're going to be tested. And like I told you guys, that's why our faith goes up and down. No one remains strong upon their iman 24 hours, not even me. My faith is strong right now at this moment because I'm teaching Islam. Once I turn this computer off, once this class ends, my faith is going to go down, because what's going to happen? I'm going to start thinking about my personal problems. I'm going to start thinking about my personal situation, how I wished I could have a hug. Oh, yeah. That's why I'm telling you, new Shahada sisters, you need a community. I wish somebody could come and hug me and tell me it's okay, Layla. That's going to take my faith down, because I know I ain't got nobody to do that. So faith goes up and down, up and down, up and down. It's like a pot of boiling water. Even our Prophet Muhammad, his faith went up and down, up and down. He suffered with anxiety. He used to worry about what's going to happen to his wives when he's gone. He also used to worry about us. How we, the later generation of Muslims, the believers, will fare during these times of trial. So all of us will experience moments of weakness. But we have to, when we experience those moments of weakness, we have to fall back. And that's my advice to you, new Shahadas. Fall back on your belief in Allah. Know that it's just a test. Know that this world is temporary. Know that those feelings of loneliness, Those feelings of need are temporary. They'll go away. Don't make those moments of weakness permanent for you. Get up and make 2 rakats. You find yourself weakening in your faith, take your mind off of whatever you're thinking about. Go make wudu, make 2 rakats. Go listen to one of my lectures. Listen to my Don't Get It Twisted series. My Don't Get It Twisted series, that's the excerpts from these classes I put there of me inspiring you. Take your mind off of whatever it is that's depressing you, that's making you feel weak. Y'all understand that? But as far as seeing Allah in this world, it's not going to happen. But you can feel that connection to him. Y'all understand that? That connection to Allah, it never wavers if you believe in him. You will feel that connection. Allah will send you signs too. Oh yeah. Allah gives us signs along the way to let us know that he's proud of us. Allah gives us signs along the way to not lose hope. Maybe you're going through a rough moment right now. You're feeling lonely. You're feeling discouraged. Then all of a sudden you'll get a phone call from out of nowhere from somebody that was dear to you. And that person happens to say something that really just hits you, that picks you up. That was a sign. That was Allah letting you know, you can't see me, but I'm here. I'm above my throne, not next to you. Allah isn't sitting next to us. This is the new shahadas. Amira, Allah is not sitting next to you. He's not everywhere. Allah is above his throne. He's the most high, but his knowledge, he knows everything that each and every one of us is experiencing. And he'll send you signs. You just have to watch for those signs and never, ever, ever lose hope. All right. Okay, so that's the class for today. Again, this is pages 16 through 21. Science, blind following. If you're going to use those methods, they can help to bring you close to Allah and get to know of him. But make sure whatever method you're using is supported with evidence from Allah himself or his prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I'm going to stop right here. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Are there any questions or comments? Yes. Yeah, the next class, by the way, guys, it's the how to pray. And I'm giving you guys a quiz. We're going to have a quiz over what we discussed the last time we met. Yes, the Sunnahs. We'll be covering the Sunnahs on the prayer, continuing with that. Yeah, we're gonna continue with the Sunnahs of the prayer. And I'll test you guys with of what we discussed the last time. Yes, 9:30. Inshallah. All right, any other questions or comments? Are you yeah, so yes. Okay, the sister here is saying that it's so much more easier. Yeah, like I told you guys, reading off that paper. Who said that? That ain't what the prophet taught us to do. You sitting there holding some paper up in the air trying to pray. How are you going to? She says she forgets her rakats and everything. Yeah, just subhanallah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah. Those are words easy on the tongue. Subhanallah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah. Exactly. Yes, exactly. All right. Okay, guys, I'm going to log out for right now. I'll be back with the How to Pray class, inshallah, at 9:30. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.